Welcome to Classroom Research. I'm Dr. Ann Jones, and this little presentation is an introduction to the kind of work that we'll be doing together in this course. We are going to be engaging in qualitative research. Other kinds of researchers and professionals who use qualitative research are anthropologists, sociologists, historians, people in business, obviously people in education, counseling, psychology, and nursing. We want to first make the distinction between quantitative and qualitative research methodologies or styles. Here's an old joke about quantitative research. A renowned heart surgeon described his new methods to a rapt audience at a medical convention. From the back of the room, someone asked, "Did you randomly assign half your patients to the old treatment and half to the new one to test it?" From the rostrum, in an arrogant huff, the surgeon replied, "Of course not. Why would I sentence half my patients to premature death by depriving them of better treatment?" From the back of the room, "But how did you know which half was getting the better treatment?" And this is the big reason why we don't, in education, use quantitative research. We can't take our students and put them into half of a group that's getting a good curriculum and half a group that's getting a bad curriculum. It just wouldn't be right or equitable. So this is why quantitative research doesn't work for us. Here's the qualitative version. A renowned heart surgeon described his new methods to a rapt audience at a medical convention. He presented detailed results of 20 in-depth cases, all of them long-term successes. From the back of the room, someone asked, "Did you randomly assign half your patients to the old treatment and half to the new one to test it?" From the rostrum, with a caring, compassionate tone, the surgeon replied, "I tried to. I sent out invitations worldwide to statisticians asking for volunteers willing to be part of a control group and forego my new treatment if they got heart disease. None volunteered." In quantitative research, they set hypothesis and then test hypothesis. They use large samples, they measure things with numeric variables, and they do analysis using statistics. What we'll be doing in our qualitative research projects is starting with problems, issues, things we want to make better. And we're going to use rich, naturally occurring data with small, sometimes very small sample sizes, and we're going to develop theory from what we learn. Albert Einstein said, "Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts." And that's very true in qualitative research, especially with children, because we can't always count what's happening with them, but they certainly are important. Here you have a side-by-side comparison of qualitative research methodologies on the left and quantitative on the right. We are going to focus on meaning, whereas in a quantitative experiment, you might focus on how much or how many. Our goals are understanding, discovery, and maybe some theory generation, where in quantitative work, the goal is to have control of your groups and to confirm existing theory. Our design in qualitative work is flexible and it evolves, as you'll discover during your work, where in quantitative work, the design is predetermined no matter what happens during the process. In qualitative work, we can have samples of any size. Sometimes they're very, very small, and they don't have to be random. In quantitative work, you have to have large and random samples, which is obviously very difficult in education. Our instruments are interviews, observations, documents, people's stories, whereas the instruments of quantitative research are scales, questionnaires, and tests. Our work is very inductive, in contrast to quantitative work, which is deductive. The characteristics of the kind of work we're going to be doing in our qualitative projects is that it's focused on inquiry, induction. We want to achieve rich, thick description, and we want to give voice to others. So what will you find out about? What problem will you solve? What will you learn?